How's everybody doing out there? It's Dave from Flash and Dance DJ and Production Services. First, I want to apologize about Monday. Just so everybody knows, here in the United States, it was Memorial Day, and as we all know, we all could go through a moment in time of relaxation, family time. If you have a lot of stuff going on, you want to take a step back. And that's what yesterday was for me. Today is Tuesday the 26th. I do have a lot of stuff going on, which that's what today's tech tip is all about for business owners or those just getting started in business. So with that being said, so the first thing is there's no gig log, and the gig log that will be up will be done for next Monday. And the reason behind that is there was a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend in regards to what would have been a gig log that were out of my control. So I really, at this point, it's nothing bad that happened. It's just stuff at a venue I just don't think it's appropriate to talk about right now. Maybe at some point in the future I could discuss it, but right now it's not appropriate at all. However, the gig log that will pop up is going to be from this past Saturday and Sunday. Unfortunately, no pictures. Just to give you a heads up on it, it was the Redneck Castellet Band on Saturday at the Jetty, and on Sunday I had a campground. So I will be talking about those upcoming on Monday, and there'll be some great information in there about how to integrate with another sound guy. I will probably do a deep dive on that on a Wednesday for a tech tip, but let's talk about business stuff today. And like I said, taking a break. So Thursday, I get a text from the Redneck Castellet, the guy who does a lot of work for them now. He turns around and tells me, oh, by the way, we have a new tech guy, and we're going to go in depth more about the console thing. But so I find out about that, what's going on with that for Saturday. And then situation happens Friday. Friday we have a situation that happens. Then Saturday goes off like normal. Then Sunday goes off like normal. And then Saturday, another situation that's out of my control happens. And then I find out, and the information was just released. Unfortunately, we had another person pass away in Freetown. I know there's people who pass away all the time and stuff like that, but this one is very, very close to me. The person wasn't a personal friend, but what I'm involved with for July 4th this year in Berkeley, Massachusetts and Freetown, Massachusetts, a lot of things are affecting me and what's going on at these events. I never thought as a business owner that at this point I would actually be in a good place. I always thought my business would just be what it was. I got off the phone with my tax guy a little while ago. That was an awesome conversation I never expected to have. And then, so where I was going with that was, unfortunately, a gentleman by the name of Robert Gregory passed away Sunday morning from something to do with cancer. I know that. I believe that's what it was. And unfortunately, him and his wife were a big part of the Freetown celebration. I believe she is definitely a part of the reenactment people. I believe he was as well. So this isn't just, a person who's on a committee who helped organize things. This guy, I remember when I was younger, he would run around the town doing stuff for July 4th. And I can't believe that this year on July 4th, two of the biggest people who had an effect on this town, both are gone, unfortunately. So, with that said, with me being behind the scenes now, there's things that I'm doing to step up to the plate. So, Johnny Angel, who brought in the downshifters and created that chapter here in Massachusetts, did a lot of stuff like at the St. John Newman Lakeside Festival Sunday morning. He would do a car show for that. He was the DJ down in the park for the Freetown 4th of July. Back in December, we had the Freetown Christmas tree lighting. He was supposed to do that. Unfortunately, that was the week he passed away. So I stepped up and went a little bit further and helped with that event big time. Then, when it came time for the Freetown stuff, I went to one of the meetings back in beginning of either tail end of May or beginning of May. It was April or May I did this. And I went in and I volunteered. So I volunteered my DJ, MC services in Freetown for the 3rd and the 4th. So the week of 4th of July, I have a lot going on. I have a show with Northern Fried I'm doing, which is up in Manchester by the sea. That's an annual 4th of July event that takes place, that I do sound for them. And then that week as well, I'm going to be helping them, the Freetown committee that is, move stuff from garages and things like that. Like, I've got to go at some point to one of the committee members' houses, and I've got to go pick up the lights that we're going to use down in the park, and I need to figure out, they're going to go through them and make sure all the bulbs are good. And then I volunteered for down in the park on July 3rd as the booths are being put up to string the lights. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to string the lights and take them down. The cool thing is, I've got my giant 16-foot trailer. What I'm going to do that morning is, if I can get all the lights and everything I need for the 3rd, it's all going to go in the trailer. The trailer is going to go down to the park and be positioned, with the help of somebody on the committee, make sure it's in the right place. It's going to get dropped. I have a utility trailer, like a 6x10 utility trailer. I'm going to grab that, and anything extra that needs to go to the park can go down there. Because I expect, as much as I have a band on July 4th at the Jetty that night, I expect that I'm going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off at the end of the fireworks, which is between, when the park gets empty, is between 10 and 11 o'clock. And I've got to put all that stuff back. And I figure I'll load all my stuff up that's got to go back in the trailer and get dropped back off here at the shop. Everything will go back in the trailer. And actually, I'll be keeping the trailer with me because I need it for the morning of the 4th. But I will be dropping the utility trailer back off here first, after I run tables, the lights, chairs, all that kind of stuff gets taken in and brought to a storage area. That gets done, that trailer gets dropped off. Then a decision needs to be made. Do I go home, which I probably will because I'm only 10 minutes from the center of town, from where everything's going to be, get a few hours sleep, and get back up to the center of town for 6 o'clock in the morning, find a position for my trailer, which will be probably on the pull-out side of, I think, where the Asona Animal Hospital moved to. I'll park there so I can hide my generator for power, drop that behind the trailer, and then set up my speakers along where the gazebo is, along the fence line of that. Get that all set up for the parade. Use the cable ramps I have for walking areas and stuff like that. And then basically I'll be able to announce floats that are coming through, the winners of the float contest, the man, woman, the student who won the t-shirt contest. I'll be announcing all that as it goes through and playing some background music as that's happening. So that's basically a lot of what's going on. And for that day, I'm also, my buddy George has an arch truss. I just don't want it to be me standing there playing music. I want to set up this arch in front of me, use two of my moving heads. I know I've got 3 cases here, but I'll bring 2 of them with me, 2 of the cases, so I always have backups with me. But I'll use 2 of them on the truss. He's got a couple of scanners. I'm going to try and put all 4 scanners in it, and just to throw something extra, like, not that I'm trying to outshine this other guy, but where it's the 250th, I don't want it to just be a DJ making announcements, playing background music. That's actually another question that I have out on a couple of different forums to DJs. Hey, I know I got to do patriotic music, but at a giant fireworks show, what other music do you guys play other than just patriotic stuff? So if any of you guys are out there, whether it be a sound guy, a DJ, whoever, what do you play? If you're, not a party, if you were doing this for 2,000-3,000 people out in a field, other than, some standard patriotic play stuff, like America the Beautiful, obviously, like Whitney Houston's national anthem, is going to be played right before the fireworks go off. That kind of stuff. So that just gives you an idea. I know I'm rambling here, but this just gives you an idea of some of the stuff that, as a business owner, I am going through. So like I said, I want to apologize about not having a gig log up this past Monday, but as I said, it was Memorial Day, so I figured I could just take a break, and then pick back up this coming Monday with everything and go from there. I was also thinking about doing some stuff with Show Express at some point in the tech tips, show you how I reprogram, how, like, I'm taking a lot of songs that I had for the Redneck Castaway guys when I was doing lighting for them. I'm taking a lot of those and I'm recreating them into a full step scene. And at some point I am going to go, when I go pick the truss up, if I can have George bring it to his house, I'm going to see if I want to take my trailer, take 2 cases of the movers, and pick up the DJ Extremes. And while I'm there, I want to check the programming I have, because he has more power than I do here at the shop. That's one thing that I want to change at some point. Here, there's only a 100 amp service. At some point, I want to upgrade it to a 200 amp service, take the second half of it, the 100 amp, put that on a secondary breaker and have that feed into the new garage, and have multiple separate circuits, like have that feed a sub panel. So basically there'll be a 100 amp breaker in that panel that will then feed out to the garage, and then in the garage will be a sub panel with, that 100 amp would break out to, say, 6 20 amp circuits, I think it is, and that would feed around the garage, where I would be able to do whatever I needed to do. I would be able to set up, a full truss system, set up multiple movers, set up scanners, set up my audio, do whatever I wanted, and never pop a circuit. So that's another business owner side of things. So with that being said, we have some exciting things here at Flash and Dance that are coming up. Stay tuned for those upcoming things. And don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me comments below on things you want me to cover and future tech tips, gig logs, anything like that. And then don't forget, learn one thing every day and treat others the way you wish to be treated. And with that said, I will see you this coming Monday for the gig log of this past weekend.